Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm back. I'm back. Let's get back to it. Let's bring Cole back real quick.
Still don't see the live. Oh, here we go. Started a live video.
Let's get back to
You good?
it.
I'm
Yo.
back, baby.
Yep. Let's wait for some of the viewers to come back in here.
No doubt.
How
We
them
ain't
workouts?
talk-
How them workouts been going?
Good, man. We just had a workout today. Randolph Macon was here and stuff like that. So kids got to work out, got some attention on them, which was
hmm Where'd that 7 foot kid go? When I was recruiting like 2 years ago.
oh he went up going to Penn State, but he didn't play. He just walked on and he didn't make it.
Facts. And what about the light skin guard, the point guard?
He plays football at Bridgewater now.
Facts. That's tough. That's tough. All right, I
Yeah.
think everybody, they back. All right, so let's transition, man. Let's go. Let's talk about what you do now. And before we do that, talk about the list of jobs that you've had since you've graduated.
Yeah, so I was very fortunate. One day I was in the library, my last year of college, my grad year, redshirt senior year, and I hope you can see my phone keep going dark. I don't know why. I hope it was my redshirt grad year, and we were in study hall, and I was sitting next to my man Blake Porter, who's still one of my tightest friends to this day. And I'm going through because, like I said, I had a girlfriend that lived in Charlotte, so I was like, "Dang, do I want to be an AD? Do I want to be a GM? What do I want to do?" You know. And so I ended up like, "All right, I'm gonna be a GM. So I need to find a way. How can I get to North Carolina?" I was like, "I'll be a GM for the Panthers." I was like, "That would be dope. Like, I'm gonna look into football operations." And my man Blake Porter's from Charlotte, so I'm sitting in study hall going through the uh, the Carolina Panthers directory
Mm-hmm.
on their football directory. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, hey, BP, do you know any of these people? Like, do you know anybody on this thing? He's looking. He's like, oh, who is Larry Griffin? He said, Larry Griffin had coached me in Little League. And I'm like, hit him up now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is him. So he ends up hitting up his dad or something. And his dad's like, yeah, Larry works for the Panthers. And so, boom, Blake put me in contact with Mr. Griffin. And I drove straight down to Charlotte, took him out to dinner or lunch or something. And we hit it off. And then, like, maybe 2 weeks later, he brought me back. And I walked through and met everybody in the facility and things. And then he got me the internship, a football operations internship. So boom, I go straight to the football operations internship. And, for me, I wasn't a fan of working in the NFL anymore. Like after I had my internship, I just knew it wasn't for me. Like it's just to give you a quick story. Like when I was at the Panthers, I had got not in trouble, but they pulled me to the side because I was playing cards with the players. Like I'm at the table with Cam Newton,
Mm-hmm.
like Captain Munderland, like we Thomas Davis, we playing tunk, like we getting it in. No money, just getting it in and tunk. And he was like, "Yeah, man, we don't really want the interns interacting with the players like that. I know you know harm." And so when we had that conversation, I was like, "What do you mean I can't? Like that's who I am. Like
Yeah.
that's what we do. Our culture, we play cards. Like
Mm-hmm.
you see somebody pull out some cards, you trying to play." And so he told me, like we don't really want that. And I started watching them more, like the people who actually work for the Panthers, and the way they don't even like, I didn't see a lot of interaction. Like I was expecting them to be playing cards with the players. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was expecting them to be at practice, like hyping practice up stuff. But that's not what it is at the NFL. It's a business. Like, listen, if your job is football operations, you do football operations. Beds are made, logistics, practice facilities, fans, like sales does sales. All that's business. And so that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm more relationship built. Like I need relationships. I love relationships. So I was like, this ain't for me. And so God willing, I got an email from Christ Church, and they were looking for an assistant athletic director, head varsity boys basketball coach. So I'm like, I want to either be in the GM or I want to be an AD. Here's my first step to being an AD.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, I'm taking it. Mind you, I'm working for the Panthers, making $725 internship. I'm like, and you gotta build your way up. But it was just like, all right, bet, but this is a salary, benefits, like. So
And you
I
were
accepted.
young. You were 24, right?
I was 24, yeah, 24 when I got that. Jumped on that job. So I was in. I called on my family, my friends, asking them what they thought, but I low-key knew I was taking it anyway.
Yeah.
Because there was also another internship with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that I made it to the finalists for. So, but this was a year-long internship. The Panthers game was just the summer. So I remember I was like, dang, like, do I go to Tampa Bay and see if it's different there? Or do I do this? And I was like, you know what, I'm doing it. I don't like it. So I jumped straight into that. And then I was the assistant AD for 2 years. And then I got like a promotion to alumni relations. Because that's more college AD track anyway. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do alumni relations, like fundraising. That's how you really climb the ladder. And so moved there. And then that same year, my boss had left. The AD had left. And so the job, I had my master's. I had been there for 2 years. It was kind of a no-brainer to let me in the door. So and then I became the AD. And since I've been the AD for a whole year now and, taking off.
And you was the head basketball coach too at 24.
I was head basketball coach at 24. That was an adjustment. Mm-hmm. That's an adjustment.
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But for real, salute to you because people don't realize how hard it is to be a head coach of color and on any level. And you did it at 24. You know what I'm saying? You did a good job. So big salute to that for real. It's really a grind.
Well, I appreciate that. And it's more so a salute to the Christ Church, though. I'm not going to lie. From day one, I felt empowered. Like, they never made me feel like, I never felt they didn't make me feel different. And mind you, when I try to think of ways to separate myself in little different ways. So the whole first year of coaching, I didn't wear nothing but sweats, some like nice shoes, like some J's or something like so-called nice shoes. And that was going to be me because I'm shaking hands with dudes in their suits, mostly white men in their suits, ties, all that. I'm going to be the guy in a shirt, sweats, and some shoes, and I'm going to be winning games. Like, that was my mindset. Like, yeah. I'm not changing who I am. I'm building my own reality. This is what y'all can't tell me how I'm supposed to look. This is how I look, and I still am going to outcoach you. Like, that's the approach I took. And so the biggest thing, though, the biggest adjustment was just dealing with young men and where they are in life. Mm-hmm. These kids are in way different places. You got some kids who, listen, coach, I'm going to work on a farm after this. I'm not going to college. I'm here to play, and I'm going straight to the farm. You got kids who are like, coach, if I don't make it now, I'm never going to do nothing. I'm going to be lost. I'm going to be selling this. Then you got kids who are just like, coach, I just like playing basketball for fun. So you got all these different kids on one team trying to get them to buy in for one goal. Mm-hmm. You got some kids that care a lot, some kids that don't really. And so that was my biggest adjustment, just meeting each kid where they are. Like, dang, while you're still figuring out who you are. Like, I'm young. I'm 24, fresh in my career, figuring out myself while also trying to, meet these kids where they are and figure out who they are. So that was a big adjustment, bro. That was rough.
I believe I can relate because I was at Richard Bland 2 years ago, and the JUCO level, everybody's trying to get Division I. Everybody wants to get Division I, and how can I say it? A lot of these kids are selfish. They're selfish. And, I'm in Petersburg, Richmond, so these kids don't really their life isn't all the way put together. And all of that, and you talk about meeting kids where they are, that was a struggle because I couldn't relate to their home life.
Yeah.
I couldn't relate to the struggles that they were having. So the problems like them not being on time, them not following directions, that was literally hard for me because I come from mad structure.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's on every level, there's some kind of struggle you got to get through. Especially with black men.
And that's a fact, because we got kids from Canada. We got kids from Africa. We got kids who haven't seen their parents in, 6 months.
Yeah.
And you yelling at them about being late to practice, and they 15, 16 years old, 17. Man, I don't care nothing about your practice. I ain't seen my mom in 6 months. You think I care about practice?
That's
So you're thinking, like, you got to really, like, put it all in perspective, because you like, dang. You got kids whose best friend just got killed, and you talking about practice for a game that, like, man, I'm not worried about that. So, and you got to maintain all that while not losing your team. You know what I mean? Because then everybody just going to be late. And so what I tell my kids all the time is, man, listen, I understand that life happens. And right now, you have the luxury of still, being late and not losing it all. And, but what I want you to understand is, that's a luxury, because that ends.
Yes.
My birthday is May 11th. I have to work May 11th. I can't take May 11th off because I want to. I can't say, that's my birthday, I'm not working. If my best friend dies, I can't just take 2 months off of work. You know what I mean? If I do that, I lose my job. You know what I mean? Like, so as long as kids understand, you're late to a high school practice and it's not the end of the world, but you need to understand that that's a luxury and that time runs out. Because when you get older, you can get fired and you won't eat. You know what I mean? So as long as they understand that, they'll be all right.
That's facts. And this whole thing goes back to what you said earlier, and that's communication.
Communication.
These kids come from so many different backgrounds. Some of the kids care, some of them don't. Some of them are just there just for fun. But at the end of the day, you have to find a way to get the most out of each individual,
exactly,
and then work together as a team and see what you can do.
Exactly, and that's the hardest part, bro. That's the hardest part.
That's facts. Do you see yourself coaching again, or?
I do want to. I mean, coach. I tell people all the time, I like coaching more than I love playing. I love coaching. There is nothing better than seeing, your plan or your game strategy work. In game. And it's like, dang, like that worked. You get a rush that's different.
I love that.
And I take the losses harder as a coach than a player, because you can't really control it. It's out of your control. You know what I mean? Like, what happened? You can tell them to do whatever. They're going to do whatever they want, though, in some ways. So I want to coach again, but I think, I want to take some time just, slowly getting back into it.
Got you.
But I do love coaching, though.
I got you. So talk a little bit about that AD side. Talk about, like, your daily activities as an AD.
Well, so yeah, so as the AD here, it's different than college, because in college, it's mostly about fundraising and stuff like that. Here, it's just more about, the logistics of everything. And in high school, a lot of high school ADs will tell you the biggest thing is trying to find coaches in the building, find teachers that coach. That's a big struggle right now, especially at a private school like this where they don't have PE class. And, historically, you would get a PE teachers that can coach. That's how you hire your coaches. But here we don't have PE. So we're trying to find people who have to build whole curriculums to also build a whole practice plan. Like, that's tough on teachers. You the math chair trying to coach varsity football too. Like, that's hard.
That's very hard.
It's very hard. And PE is hard. It's hard to be a PE teacher. It's hard to teach and coach. It just is what it is. And so that's kind of what I deal with a lot, is, trying to, like, not convince our teachers to coach, but just find, in the interview process with the head, along with them, just for asking people questions like, hey, what do you think about coaching? What do you think about this? Trying to do things like that. So that's a big part of it. And just, just the logistics of the whole season, scheduling, officials, getting sponsors, stuff like that.
So what makes you love being an AD? Because remember, you said that was your dream, not a dream, but that's what you wanted to do.
Nah, for sure. So my love and passion for it comes from just, I generally love sport, like genuinely love sports. Like, I love athletics. I mean, I can go sit at a fencing match. Like, I can go watch a fencing match and be in it, like, hyped up. I can go watch a volleyball game and literally be hyped up. So I just love athletics. I love going to different sports. Like if I had to choose coaching or AD, I would choose AD because I get to go to every game. Like I don't have to just be at my basketball games. I can go to the football games, girls soccer games, field hockey games, and just seeing these kids in a different element. Like you'll see the girl who's is kind of shy. She doesn't even like getting a drink in front of everybody. But on the soccer field, she beating her chest, pointing in the sky. Like I live for that, and it just gives me a rush. So that's the passion I have for it.
I feel it. Couple more questions.
Yeah.
So tie in you as a player, high school and college. Give me something, and this is all sports. This is all sports related. So give me one thing that you learned as a player and something that you carry with you as a coach and AD.
So the coaching change we had in college when we had Coach Maynard and them come in. Why I said that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me is because he was really big on just telling you, hey, listen, this is what happens. If you steal from here, you going to jail. If you cheat on your wife, she's leaving you. You know, he was real black and white with things. Like, listen, you either late to work or you not. Nobody want to hear why you didn't do something. Did you get it done or not? Period. You know, all that other stuff doesn't matter. And so he put that mindset in me like, okay, all the excuses don't matter. Nothing matters. Like, did you get it done or not? You know, you worry about how you get it done. You don't need to tell everybody all that. Your job is, did you get it done or not? And so I learned that in college. On film, did you make the tackle or not? Coach, but my cleat, did you make the tackle or not? You know what I mean? So that kind of transitioned with me into the real world now is because it's like, if I don't have officials at the game, if we have a game scheduled and both teams show up and no officials show up, do you think I can go to those parents who just traveled from North Carolina up to Virginia and say, what happened was I got sick. I forgot because I had the flu. I got the coronavirus shot. I wasn't feeling well. I couldn't get. Man, you're supposed to have officials here. We drove 5 hours up here to watch a game that can't happen now because we don't have officials. So that kind of all transitioned with me into like, get it done, man. Get your job done. And it helps when you love what you're doing. I love what I'm doing. So one thing I'm going to do is make sure you see me in the office now, like I'm going to make sure I get my job done regardless of anything else. So that's like Ben just said, get rid of them excuses. Don't work as an adult. Yeah, they don't work when you're an adult. What you gonna tell your kid? Dang, you ain't eat today? I forgot to go to the grocery store and get you some food, man. You shouldn't have to sleep hungry tonight. Like, what is that? Like, come on. Nobody want to hear that.
Got a man and woman up. You know how that goes.
Exactly.
Last thing. For somebody who's just for everybody that's watching, this is called Lead Through Sport, and we want student athletes to lock into this, but this is for everybody as well. Life development. I'm real big on life development, and I want to ask you if there's one thing you would tell a kid, boy or girl, that's 12 years old, following the footsteps that you went through. Wanting to play college ball, maybe wanting to be an AD or do anything else in life. What kind of advice would you give them that would stick with them on every level of their life?
My advice to any kid, whether you're doing sports, whatever you're doing, is every step of your life is an interview. Whether it's middle school, high school, college, it's an interview. For me, I was fortunate enough to get it. I never had a period of time where I didn't have a job. The reason that is because the school I went to for high school, to reclassify it, I was a prefect, which is kind of like a dorm parent. I was a campus leader. I won 2 state championships. And it's not even about that. I cleaned the dining hall. I cleaned up after myself. I said, yes, sir, no, ma'am. I did all of that, which is why I was able to get that job fresh out of college, which is why and I might not be anymore, I think, but the youngest AD in the state, in the private schools, in the league. Like, that's why, because I did a good job. I did a good job on my job interviews when I was in high school. Everything is an interview. Every step of the way you be an interview. What you do right now, you would be amazed. That can be your job in 10 years, 15 years. Like, it's always, everybody's watching. You might be the funniest person on campus, but you giving all the teachers and all the administrators a hard time. And then when you want a job, you can't reach back to them. You know what I mean? You can't, they're not going to be there for you. You might want to coach, but you and your college coach, you was late to practice every day. You was talking crazy to your coach. whatever. You think he gonna give you a GA spot? You got a GA spot because your coach liked you. That's an interview. Everything you do is an interview. It's not about the right thing. You got to think 10 years from there. Live in the moment. Don't get me confused. Have fun. We all understand you kids. I want perfect, nowhere near. But at the end of the day, if I want a job at Hampton University, I know I could get one because the AD and me had a great relationship. The president and I had a great relationship. I never got in trouble for like cheating or drugs or nothing like that because I did good on my interview. You know what I mean? So my advice to any kid out there who's looking to, you know, take the next step in anything you're doing, understand that everything's an interview. And internships, this is my last one, internships are to tell you what you don't want to do. You don't have, if you got a dream job and you do an internship and you don't like it, don't feel bad. Don't let it crush your dream. Be happy. That just saved you a lot of time, tears, and just moments you didn't need. So internships are for you to figure out what you don't want to do, and you'll land on what you do want to do. So that's what I would tell them.
That's good stuff, man. Great stuff. I just want to add one thing, and it kind of plays into what you're saying. Don't burn no bridges. And I want everybody here, especially high school athletes, because I'm able right now, I can go to Bethel, Kickerton, Hampton, I can go to any school around here, and I can present a program because I'm so well connected with the people. And I've been to 2 high schools, and all the teachers know me, all the ADs, the admin. I always had good character.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
When I was in college, St. Andrews, you know, people complain. Everybody's going to complain about something, but I'm watching people in class going off on teachers doing this and doing that, not knowing that you might need them one day. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because when I came home from Bland, I was trying to get my business off and everything. I'm calling people at St. Andrews. I'm calling professors, the people that the dean, all of that. And they're responding to me. They got on the Zoom that next week, and I was able to present what I have. Yeah. Why? Because I was never an asshole. I was never somebody that got under people's skin. I was always well respected, always knew what I wanted to do, and I had good relationships with people.
Exactly.
You never know who you're going to need at any point in time.
And I don't care how good you can swim. You burn them bridges, you're going to feel it, okay? You need them, and you can be the best swimmer ever. You need them bridges.
That's a fact.
And that's true. Character is everything, you know. That's going to take you where you're going to go. What you do when nobody's watching.
That's facts, man. B. Cole, I appreciate you, man. There's a lot of gems in here, man. I hope everybody watches it. If you didn't watch the first one, I posted it, so y'all go check that out. Cole, where can we follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram at CO1E_. LinkedIn, Brendan Cole. You can connect with me. You can DM me if you need anything, you know, advice. You know, I'm not charging for my advice, you know, or nothing like that. If you have questions, you know, anything, just reach out to me. I'm very easy to contact, and I'm very, you know, I'll give you my cell number. We can chop it up, everything. Just let me know.
Facts. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in. For those who don't follow me, y'all can go ahead and follow me at T Scotty, and also show love to my business page too, at _rise to the occasion, all about life development and just trying to help you rise to your highest level of living.
Oh yeah, and before you get off, Taj, I wanted to say shout out to you, man. What you're doing is amazing, bro. I just saw you got a deal. You, like I was talking about entrepreneurs earlier, man, this is huge. And
can't hear you.
And can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, seeing you thrive and just be successful in what you want to do, you know, and starting your RTTO from the ground and just seeing you. Like you said, you've always been, I've admired that since we were young, like your character and how you are, bro. Just keep doing it. Proud of you, bro. You know,
appreciate that, man. I'm proud of you too, dog. And we got a lot more in store for the summer. We're gonna link again.
Yes, sir. Definitely. All right, boss man.
All right, take care, man. Y'all take it easy out there. See y'all next Thursday as well, man. Lock in with me next Thursday at 7.
Yes, sir.